here in the front.
Sam, obviously, looking ahead at an A&M team, you guys already played this season. I know they've had some injuries since then. What kind of stands out about how they look this time around versus, when you guys were preparing for them a month ago?
That's the million-dollar question. I mean, we're fortunate we got them on an off week. That was that week I talked about this last press conference where we had 3 games in 1 week, so there was a vibe that we were playing. And also, Janai Barker was coming off, I believe, a concussion, so she was only limited. I think she only played limited minutes at 20. So they had some funk going on. They're kind of like us. It's funny how our seasons are very similar. Right now, they're missing India Rogers for the last 6 games. They're 1-5. They're in a little funk, but also when they had their starting 5, they're 16-3. So when you watch them on film, just like you watch us, you know the talent's there. You know what they're capable of. They have a lot of big-time players, so you just got to prepare for a bunch of different scenarios and be ready for whoever steps up in March. And that's what we've done. We've done a great job these last 2 days trying to really dial in and put a great scout together, mix up some things that we didn't necessarily do the last time that we feel like we got time to put in, some more defenses, and let's see if we can't try to find a way and steal one here in March.
I want to talk about y'all's losing streak.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. I knew I loved you, man. I was like, come on, man, come on.
No, I mean, just after that game the other day, it just seemed like the players were just really relieved post-game and like the monkey got off their back. Have you sensed kind of a different pep in their step, or have they even during that stretch, were they kind of keeping the same, or what's your thoughts on how they reacted?
Yeah, I know y'all get tired of me saying that. It's a great question. Is just, again, we just been through a lot, man. I kind of reflected our season in whole when we talk about #1. It's been one special season with 21 wins, but it's also had a lot of situations that have occurred, just like Texas A&M, that has thrown off the work that goes behind the scene to keep this machine rolling. I'll never forget when I talked about that 5-game winning streak. It's funny how winning provides a momentum and energy level where you just need some success. Are we having these conversations if we pull out that Ole Miss game? If we pull out that Kentucky game, the momentum and the storyline looks way different, but it is what it is. So to your point and question, for us to get one on senior night, most importantly for those seniors, I think I'm going to have a happy group because, as you can imagine, we were off yesterday. I haven't seen them yet, but I know anytime you win, everybody in the room feels good because I promise you this, we're working hard. My staff's doing an unbelievable job, staying up late at night, crushing it with film, and then my players are dialed in. They all came here for this vision, and we want to finish this off. And Chapter 1 was non-conference, Chapter 2 was conference, and now we're in Chapter 3. So we have an opportunity to write a new chapter here, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Down here in the front.
Yeah, so during that stretch where you guys were struggling, I mean, in terms of the way you were talking to them in the locker room, either after games or during games, or just your approach as a coach, whether it's on the sidelines, rotations, all that stuff, did that change at all, or is it pretty much we're going to stay the course?
Yeah. No, it's the same, man. That's all I know. I know those young women, again. That's all they know. It's always find it funny because everybody talks about, Vegas has got y'all down. Vegas got this. Well, I know I live in Start Vegas. And you know what? I got a locker room full of kids that believe. And, again, it's funny about sports, man. It's not like we sign up to lose, right? We sign up to win. And to your point, the energy was good. We battled some sicknesses. Everybody was trying to find a way, including me. I never point fingers without pointing at myself because I'm the leader of this program. I was just really proud for what we did on senior night, because here's the thing about senior night that y'all might not have a lens like I do. Missouri came out and shot the ball really well. I mean, you look at them in the SEC, and I said this earlier in the month, there's no bad teams. Yeah, you can get caught up in a record and play that, but even like the bottom half, they have All-Americans on their team. I've never seen a conference that has bottom half teams that have All-Americans on their roster. That's how much talent is in this league. So for us to maintain the course, but even get Missouri's best shot because they can shoot the ball. You saw my kids, what they were really about, their core, their demeanor. They stayed the course. They didn't panic, especially if you can imagine when you lose 5 straight, you don't win that first half. There could be like, here we go again. But my kids were like, nah, we're going to win this game. And that's what makes me feel really good about going in the SEC because their mind and most importantly, their heart's in the right spot.
Justin?
Obviously,
this time of year, the cliche is that freshmen are no longer freshmen. I'm just curious,
Yeah.
how has your trust evolved with Miracle, Jasmine, and Canaro throughout the year, and then the importance of them maybe experiencing that win or go home feeling in Greenville before getting to
Yeah.
the big stage in March Madness?
Yeah, so for the first question, I think that's shown by the minutes I played them, right? To your point, freshmen, I actually did this at Christmas. I do this every year I've been at somewhere. When you get to Christmas, because when you look at what the NCAA allows us currently right now to work these young women out in the summer access and the fall and non-conference, you put so many hours in, it's been magnified compared to when I was first starting college, that's why they're no longer freshmen at Christmas. To me, they're sophomores. They have plenty of training and tools. It's almost like if you go to college. If you take classes before fall of your freshman year, you can accelerate your degree where you're no longer a freshman, so kind of that same mindset. So that's where I'm proud of them. And then, like I said, I've been giving them minutes because they've earned it. And again, that first half where we're in foul trouble, they were huge. They came in big, and we're going to need them this week if we're going to, make a run there in Greenville, excuse me. And then the second question again.
Just them experiencing that win or go home scenario in the SEC tournament before getting to March Madness and getting sort of that feel of what it takes and having to play so many games in certain time.
Yeah, no, I think it was huge how it played out because you find out a lot when your back's against the wall, and for them to step up like they did and just be relentless, just play. It made me feel really good about them, and then most importantly, their teammates. I mean, their teammates were all over. They were saying, knock it down, Jazz. They were coming off the bench going, come on, Miracle. And then even Near, it was a funny game because there were 5 guards, so Near didn't necessarily get as many opportunities as she usually does. So I had to go with a smaller lineup, and her demeanor on the bench was everything. So to your question, I'm really happy where the freshmen are at, and I'm excited to see what they do this week.
We've seen Lauren, whether it be on the bench or, pregame, she's dancing when they're doing dribbling drills. When you look back on, the player you guys got in the portal and what she's provided this year off the court, in the locker room, I guess how would you describe what she's added to the team?
A lot. Yeah, because like we say in sports, man, we live this. Right, I live this, but like I always say, I want to be more than a basketball coach. Obviously, father figure. I wear multiple hats. I am a father. I'm a husband. I want to have joy in life. When we're not playing basketball, you want to enjoy this time we spend together and spend with each other, and that's who she is as a player. To your point, those great points that you pick out, she makes you laugh. She makes you relax. And then again, she just makes you believe you can conquer the world because of her height. Her height, she's undersized, but she's never out of the game. She's always in the game. And there's just a demeanor. I'm watching her grow. Again, I would have loved to have the opportunity to coach that young lady for 4 years, and it's hard when you make a move, and, there's struggles for any transfer, but she's stayed the course. She's come here for this moment, and this moment's here. So I'm excited that when this moment has finally arrived, you can see 2 things for a player. And it's just like us in human life. You can talk about it all you want, but when the moment arises, do you seize the moment? It's talk, or are you going to walk the walk? And right now I'm watching her walk the walk, so I'm really excited for her March opportunities.
Right. Jess and Jerk are all SEC today, and they've kind of been sustained it all year long, especially Jerk. What's your thoughts on what they've been able to do in their senior year this year for the team?
Proud coach. Easily we could get in an argument, that they should be first team. But again, I always say some of those awards come down to team performance. Better your team plays, team performance provides individual opportunity and individual awards. So I look at it more of a big picture that this league is as talented as any league in the country. And it was 8-8, right? So they're one of the top, 2 of them are the top 16 players in the conference. That's how I look at this, because this league's loaded. A lot of kids got left out. I forgot to look at that list, but I probably can name 5 or 6 that are our first team in any other conference that didn't even make the conference. So to have 2 from our team speaks volumes. I was looking at this right now. Sorry, I want to make sure I answer this correctly. One of 5 SEC schools with multiple all first or second team selection, again, just speaks volumes of who they are as people and players. And then nothing surprised me because I knew what I had on the front end, and for them to back it up this year and play at a high level and put us in position with 21 wins, it's a credit to both of those players.
Why do you think Jerk doesn't get as much recognition sometimes? It just seems like she kind of flies under the radar still, and she's been one of your leading scorers and leading rebounders and defensive players since you've been here.
Yeah, I just think, unfortunately, and I don't mean this mean, that's why I appreciate you all as media, is that's where we're still growing the women's game, right? You don't have as many people who put in the work like you all do to truly evaluate and give the justice it deserves from a media standpoint. And that's why I think that's a big part of it. And that's why I kind of said what I did last year, talk to me nice. I had a team all year that sometimes on the women's game, we get caught up in the same stories or the same programs, but what about those kids who deserve it? What about those programs that defy the odds? And I think that's what's been cool for my first 2 years here is we're that program. Yeah, Mississippi State got that recognition that you're talking about when they went to back-to-back Final Fours, but what about, and then we had that little drop-off, but we're back, right? We're crushing records. We're having sellouts. We're doing different things. So let's make sure we get these young women the attention and flowers that they deserve, and that's why my job as a head coach, when given these platforms, I speak for their behalf and try to let people know and educate them, and that's what I plan on doing the rest of March.
Kind of to follow up on that, we see Caitlin Clark breaks the record the other day, and I think it had like 3 million views or something on that game. And
yeah.
Virginia beat Virginia Tech. I guess just entering this March Madness, how much have you kind of continued to see the parity grow and viewership grow, and how much does that excite you for this upcoming tournament?
Yeah, it really excited because obviously this is all I know in college. I've been a part of women's basketball, and as a girl dad, it gives me really a joy and a smile like you see on my face because I got 3 little girls that are following all these girls that are, again, deserving the recognition they deserve because all they've ever asked is give me a chance. Put us on the platform and watch our product. And we're getting those opportunities now. There's a lot of, I call them goats in this league who have fought for this space, and me being a new coach, being in those head coaching meetings and learning the fight that they made behind the scenes to get us here, it's been cool to watch because now their hard work over the last 10 to 15 years has put us in that platform with those numbers that you described. The numbers are unbelievable. It was cool to see the stars that came out to the Iowa game. First of all, I want Jake from State Farm to be at my game, okay? He's awesome. And then, gosh, there were so many that I saw. There was a baseball player, I can't remember. Did you see that? Yeah, Nolan Ryan, like, come on, man. Like, he came. I saw like 5 or 6 celebrities, which is cool. Maya Moore flew in the game. So it was just really cool. And I think what's cool about Caitlin is how she does it with class, right? When she breaks the record, she's so smart. The first play they run on a sideline is a back screen because at that point, she knows Ohio State's pressing up because she just broke it. So at that point, what player does that? And it's like, okay, I'm going to get my teammate an easy shot after I just broke the all-time leading scorer. So I think that's the other cool thing about watching the way she does it. It's not about a million shots. She plays the game the right way. And what was the second part of the question?
Just about the parity and kind of how that excites you in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm living it. I know y'all get tired of me saying this, but I keep saying it. You can't look at records in the SEC. I just mentioned it. COVID has changed the game. You got bottom half teams with All-Americans. And that's what me and him were talking about. We're going to work on a stat on the bus. Like when I played Florida, they got McDonald's All-Americans. Help me out. Arkansas, McDonald's All-Americans. Like, it's loaded top to bottom because of what we're talking about. Jackson State, who we played, that was a huge win. They just won their conference. I read it last night. They're tough, man. In women's basketball, it's not like men. When you play some of these mid-majors or lower majors, you would wax them by 30 because it was a huge difference. Now you're saying, to your point in your question, you got UTC who beat us, but we only had 7 players, but still I'm not going to take anything away from UTC. Then you got Jackson State where we had a full roster that we brought it. I'm just really excited because women's basketball, to your point, and the 3.2 million is getting the recognition and the honor it deserves, to your point, where people now will tune in because anybody can beat anybody on any night.
Follow-up question. Regarding, I guess, where you guys stand right now with the NCAA tournament bubble and all that stuff, does that make it easier to have these girls focus for Texas A&M and not worry about what opponent is looming for the following game after that?
I would hope so. I know it does me, right? I don't want to assume anything. Here's the thing, and we looked it up. Shout out to my best SID. I appreciate everybody following that tone because he is, all right, in the country. If there should be an award, I hope he's in there. I hope you guys are voting for him. But we pulled up a stat, and there's never been a 20-win SEC team with a 500 or above record left out of the NCAA tournament. Never. So to your point, I'm excited, but I'll promise you this, when you leave it in the hands of other people, I'm never excited, right? There's no guarantees. I know I love Charlie Cream, and I did this last year of challenging him, but his bracketology is not the ultimate say. It's a room of people, and that's why I was fighting for, like I told y'all last press conference with the eye test. I hope they're really watching us and the talent that I have, and then what we did last year. You put us in the play-in game, and we made history. So I have a lot of those players back, and then also look at our record that we turn in of who was sick, why didn't we have certain people for this game, and so I just pray that they really do, and they usually do a great job, and I'm praying that happens again. And then what was the other part of the question? Because I know I'm talking a lot here today.
Just keeping focus on Texas A&M regarding, if you guys win, you got the #1 undefeated team the next day.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just thinking about myself. First of all, I got a great fan base. They drove all the way out. I got administration who's making a great commitment to come. I think I speak on behalf of all our players. Texas A&M knocks us out last year. So that's my thought process. First of all, I don't want to play Texas A&M again, and I do. So let's make sure what happened last year, and I don't go home early. So let's try to. This is my second year. I'd like to enjoy the SEC tournament more than one game. So let's get to that point and to answer your question. Cool. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate you.